Hello! You want to know the differences between German and Swiss German? There are lots. I'm going through grammar, tenses, verbs, noun cases, pronouns, terminology, genders, spelling, and pronunciation. First of all, the tenses. In Swiss German, there are only two tenses. We have the present and the present perfect. We never use the past tense of a verb. Instead, if you want to talk about something that happened in the past, you just use the present perfect. For example, yesterday I ate cake. In German, gestern aß ich Kuchen. Swiss German would be gestern han ich Kuchen gegessen. Han gegessen. Or I slept well. Ich schlief gut. Ich han gut geschlafen. Ich han gut geschlafen. I have slept well. Future. A future tense doesn't exist in Swiss German. Instead, we use the present tense. So if you want to say, for example, I'm going to buy a dog. Ich werde einen Hund kaufen. In Swiss German we say, ich kauf einen Hund. And people would understand. We can talk about the future and still use the present. So if we want to make it more clear, we just add words like morgen, übermorgen, nächstes Jahr, in 3 Wochen. So you would say, for example, ich kauf morgen einen Hund. Or ich kauf nächstes Jahr einen Hund. I mean, compare this to all the tenses you have in English, for example. You have 13 tenses. In German you have 6 tenses. And in Swiss German you have 2. Verbs. The verbs kommen and gehen, come and go, go und ga. They are doubled if they are used with another verb, like if you want to say ich gehe Salsa tanzen, I go salsa dancing. We would say ich gang go salsa tanzen. Ich gang go salsa tanzen. Or if you want to say, ich komme dich besuchen. I come visit you. We would say, ich komm dich besuchen. Noun cases. Swiss German lacks the genitive case. So instead of saying things like das Haus des Bruders, we just say das Haus vom Brüder. As you can see, we just add the word vom or vo. Or for example, if you want to say, die Lehrerin korrigiert die Fehler des Kindes. In Swiss German you would say, die Lehrerin korrigiert die Fehler vom Kind. Pronouns. Learning to use the relative pronouns is quite tricky sometimes. Like in English it would be who, which or that. And in German they are der, die, das, den, deren. So in Swiss German there are no relative pronouns. We just use the all-purpose word wo, which covers all cases and genders. For example, if you want to say die Katze, die nie einen Vogel fängt. Die Katze, die nie einen Vogel fängt. You would say die Katze, wo nie einen Vogel fängt. Die Katze, wo nie einen Vogel fängt. Or der Baum, der immer blüht. In Swiss German you would say der Baum, wo immer blüht. Terminology. So the French influence in the Swiss German language is much more present and much more strong than in the German language. We have a lot of French words we adopted because, of course, we live close to France. We even have some words or some terms where we use Swiss German and French in one term, like merci vielmal. Merci vielmal. I explained that in another video, just check it. Also, many more English words are borrowed in the Swiss German language compared to the German language. Helvetisms. Helvetisms are words which are only used in the Swiss German language and the German language doesn't know them. In standard Swiss German, for example, we say Morgen essen, while Germans say Frühstück, Nachtessen, Abendessen, Hahnenwasser, Leitungswasser. We also have a lot of Helvetisms which have their origin in French. Like we say Velo, the Germans say Fahrrad. Billett, Fahrkarte. Merci, danke. While the Swiss are familiar with German terms, none of the Swiss German expressions have made it into the German vocabulary. Genders. Some nouns have other grammatical genders in Swiss German than in Standard German. For example, die Butter, der Butter, das Tunnel, der Tunnel. Spelling. In written materials, the most obvious thing is we don't use the SZ. We only use the double S. The SZ, we got rid of it about 60 years ago. Pronunciation. The following 10 rules will make your life much easier if you try to speak Swiss German. First of all, a lot of times the Au turns into U. House, Hus, Maus, Mus, Faul, Fool. The K turns into Ch. Koch, Choch. Kind, Kind. Kaufen, Kaufe. The ST turns into St. Ernst, Ernst. Erstens, Erstens. Ast, Ost. Line or chen turns into li, the very famous li. Heftchen, Heftli. Bäumlein, Bäumli. Au turns into u, house, Hus, Maus, Mus. I turns into I, Schweiz, Schwyz, beißen, Biese. Oi turns into Ü. Deutsch, Dütsch. Teuer, Dür. E turns into Ä. Besen, Base. Lesen, Lase. And the ending turns into the ending ig. Bewerbung, bewerbig. Bewegung, bewegig. Of course, there are tons of exceptions, but if you know this already, it might make it much easier for you to finally be able to speak proper Swiss German. Thank you! Oops, I almost forgot. I would love it if you subscribed. Thanks.